Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30. It is Monday, July 21st, and time to wrap it up for today. And I'm kind of stuck twisting in the wind here on the trade. We'll see how that develops, but I figured that flat, that looks to me like an exhaustion bar. I figured that was a nice spot to get long. So I tried a long trade on that little after little balance bar here. We'll see if that works out or not. Right now, I'm fading some heat. And technically, I should probably scratch the trade when it gets back there because we'll see if it gets up there. But we're going to scratch that trade and get out of it. But we'll see. At this point, it looks to me like we are in a spot where uh, we potentially could see a bit of weakness into the close. We'll see. Let me see here if that gets up there. Right now, it's right up there. Oh my God, it's almost there. So we're right into this, right at the 2:30 time frame is when the little sellings kicked in and started selling off. And yeah, then we got the weakness. I was not quite looking forward to it, but that we've been holding on to the game. So if they can't take it lower, chances are we'll see some profit taking going into the afternoon like this. So that's kind of what it looks like, a little bit of profit taking going on there. So at this point, that's where we are. And I would just look at this as a spot where we can potentially get out of, or potentially get uh, little bit of momentum to the downside. We'll see if that happens. Let's see if yeah. So it's pretty much anyone's guess here if they're going to try to take this lower or not. This Uh, exhaustion bar definitely felt like, yeah, they run it hard like that. You usually get a snapback reaction to it, but at this point, it looks to me that I've been stubbornly holding on to this little grinding area where they're at right now. So we'll see. I tighten up my stop as a tad. If it doesn't work out, fine, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But we'll see. At this point, though, we kind of unless they let me see, unless they take out the Friday's low at the 25s. I'm probably going to stay on the long side of this. The 15s, the 10 to 15s where we started this morning. At this point, I would say just look at the 25s instead and see if they can if they take that out. I would start worrying about the short side. Otherwise, I would be looking at buying against these support areas. So buying against the 45s, the 35s, the 30s down to the 25s, the 2025s, so rotations back up again. So we'll see. They're going to be able to hold on to this or not. So right now the trade is kind of in a twisting in the wind, if you wish. We'll see if I end up getting a shot at scratching it or what happens here as I keep talking away. So that is the ES. I would start off range bound. We haven't no extensions to the upside, but we haven't really taken start selling off either. So we'll see how they end up closing. We have another half hour left. So, but if they start retracing in this area down here, I'm just going to start off range bound. If this for some reason close above the 55s, I would be more inclined to start from the long side of the market. But at this point, it feels very much like we are in a little bit of a twisting area here. So I would start off range bound the way we are right now. If they close above 55, starting off on the long side. If they close below it, start off a range bound. That's kind of the way I would look at it. So looks to me like this is not going to work out. So we'll see. Looking at the Nasdaq and the bonds, and at this point. Nasdaq is not quite pulling back. They're holding that 55 350 level. So we'll see if we can hold on to that level or not. So Nasdaq holding on a lot better than the ES is. So let me see, did I switch it? Let's see. Yeah. So the Nasdaq is holding on a lot better than the ES is in terms of retracing. ES definitely made a big move to the downside here. Nasdaq is holding support still, and that's going to keep my fingers crossed that they can hold on to this still and find out in short order, right? Definitely an interesting dynamic here. Nasdaq definitely starting from the long side the way they are. If they retrace below that 312s, 310 to 12s, I would start off range bound. But if not, I would start off on the long side of the market on the ES. Bond market just range bound. They haven't gone anywhere. Just going sideways back and forth. So starting off range bound on the bond market the way it looks right now. So that's how we are on that guy. And looking at oil and gold. So oil and gold Yeah, gold kind of holding above that area. It hasn't taken out the 15s yet, but definitely holding here. So I'm modestly optimistic that we can see uh, an attempt to retest this high at the 15s, maybe higher. So we'll see how that comes out. But starting off from the long side on gold, if they start trading below that 34.07, that big ledge right there, that would start off thinking more range-bound trading. But at this point, starting off from the long side of the market, see if you can retest that high, potentially take it higher. And then finally, oil, just range bound. We are right back at the mean. We backed off a little bit today, but pretty much in the middle of the range. So start off range bound on oil, look to fade the edges fairly equally. If they for some reason take out that 65.30s, I would be more inclined to look for a move to the downside, a bit of weakness, but that's kind of where we're looking at it right now. So that's where we are, guys. So we'll leave it there for now, and let's see what happens. So. Back to the ES, and I'm borderline going to get stopped out now. It's going to be, there you go. Yep, that took me out. So that didn't work. So it took me out there. We'll see if they going to retrace back on me here or not. But as I said, I'm not going to make the trade bigger than that. So I'm down 13 now. That last trade lost me 25 bucks or so. So range bound trading at this point, if they close above that 55s and maybe have a shot at moving this higher, but we'll see how it ends up closing. But that last trade, I was expecting a little bit more of a snapback, but it looks to me like they're still trying to push this lower. So we'll leave it there, guys, and I'll see what happens. Now, if they snap back from here, it's going to be frustrating. If they low ticked me, that's going to be frustrating. But anyone's guess. Alrighty, guys, we'll leave it there for now, and I'll see you back bright and early in the morning. And news for tomorrow before we get there. So the news is. Let me see. Powell speaking at 8:30. Where Richmond Fed manufacturing at 10. That's it. There's nothing much going on tomorrow in terms of news to drive the market. So we'll see what happens. Alrighty, guys, we'll leave it there. And I will see you guys in the morning. You have a good weekend. A good weekend. Good evening. I'm really thinking Friday already. Anyway, see you in the morning. Later.